Okay, so I'm Brooke. My theme explores the disadvantages of modernization on the connection between the natural world and the human species. My first artist is Agnes Dinas. She's a Hungarian-born conceptual artist based in New York who creates environment-inspired, site-specific work. She was born in 1931 and studied painting at the New School in Columbia University in New York. This is one of her projects, Wheatfield, a confrontation. She made it in 1982. It was 2 acres of wheatfield, 2 blocks away from Wall Street and the World Trade Center. She planted and harvested a field of wheat on land that was worth $4.5 billion. It created a powerful paradox between the two. The wheat field represented food, energy, commerce, world trade, and economics. It reflected mismanagement, waste, world hunger, and ecological concerns, calling attention to our misplaced priorities. You could view the Twin Towers and the Statue of Liberty when standing in the wheat field. After harvesting the field, the wheat was sent to 28 cities across the world. She titled the exhibition, "The International Art Show for the End of World Hunger." After the project, the 2 acres of where she planted the wheat field became Battery Park City, a complex of office spaces and condos. She wrote, "The city reversed to its old congestion." This is a forest for Australia from 1998. She planted 6,000 trees of endangered species into 5 spirals at different heights, covering 400 by 80 meters of land. This helped create a step pyramid for each spiral when the trees are fully grown. The trees help alleviate land erosion and desertification threatening Australia. A Forest for New York, a peace park for mind and soul. This was from 2013. She began to create a forest on the last open space in New York before it was filled with buildings. She called it a destination to give people strength for the challenges of modern life. This was Tree Mountain, a living time capsule. The Finland government sponsored it on World Environment Day in 1992. It involved 11,000 people planting 11,000 trees on a mountain measuring 420 by 270 by 28 meters. This project was the first time in the world when an artist restored environmental damage with environmental art planned for this and future generations. The mountain has to remain undisturbed in order for it to restore. The community helped in planting the trees, and she gave the planters certificates that were numbered and reached 400 years into the future because that's how long it takes for the ecosystem to establish itself. She wrote that it's an inheritable document that connects the 11,000 planters and their descendants, reaching into millions, connected by their trees. The top picture is her original drawing of the design from 1982, and the bottom image shows the mountain's growth in 2001. Okay. This is Pyramids of Conscience from 2005. It reflects on the issues of clean water, survival, politics, human weakness, and needs. One is filled with clear water, one is with polluted water, one with crude oil, and one is a mirror that the viewer is able to reflect on themselves. The pyramids were made like giant fish tanks, and when they're filled, they weigh 1.5 tons each. This is Hot and Cold Earthship with Heartbeat. It's a 45-foot wooden barge filled with earth, a soundtrack of a heartbeat and refrigerator unit, oars and an ancient anchor, ship ropes and chains. It's supposed to represent the earth in both its dead and alive states. The earth is frozen, cold to the touch on one end of the ship, and warm, alive with a heartbeat on the other. It was commissioned by the Museum of Contemporary Art, Helsinki, and the Art Museum of Tampere, Finland, for the Strata exhibition. Today, Dinas continues to work in different media, exploring the relationship between nature and urban environment. This is Tom Uchet. He was born in 1942. He earned his MFA from the University of Cincinnati and is an American painter living in Wisconsin. He depicts North American woodlands with the aim of evoking a mood and his own perception rather than a realistic representation. Okay, the names are kind of difficult with his paintings, but I'm going to try and pronounce it. Ajawakamig from 2017. It's oil and linen. 84 by 96 inches, including the artist's painted frame. He is an advocate of prairie restoration and is an avid bird watcher. He works in a restored barn where he keeps objects like animal skulls, antlers, lengths of bark, old tools, bird nests, vintage Native American canoes that hang from the rafts, binoculars, and well-thumbed bird guides on sturdy drafting tables. He uses these objects in his paintings. This is Nin Gazinzibingwi 2019. He states that there are places I feel a spiritual affinity for. They are found in an area of the North Woods geologically known as the Canadian Shield. When I am there, I feel at home, complete and invisible. I try to have my paintings contain and communicate that feeling. This is Makwa Nindawin, 1992. So he used to name his paintings after places that he's been until he ran out of places. He then began to name them using words of the Anishinaabe and Ojibwe language. These are Native American places where he grew up. He says that he picks the titles from the sound of the word and then considers the meaning. The language is important to him because he grew up surrounded by it. He states, I like the way that language can reflect the physical character of the North Woods and therefore further complete the experience of seeing my paintings. This is Nand Apit in Moi, 2010. It's also oil and linen, as his other paintings. In regards to symmetry, he writes, one of the neatest things about nature is that it is totally chaotic at all times, while it is simultaneously totally organized. And a lot of that organization has to do with symmetry. Symmetry is life, it's reality. That is magic. Painting, hopefully, can do that too. This painting is Nembemwiwi. It's from 2011 to 2012, oil and linen. He uses painterly technique in a metaphoric way to back the stories the paintings are telling. He states, for instance, when painting trees, I often try to use erosion as a method. Paint is applied in a very quick consistency, liquid consistency, and allowed to freely run down the painting. I augment this by flooding the space with turpentine, which further erodes it. The painting process replicates the natural forces that cover the face of a tree or cliff, and I'm simultaneously representing its appearance. Most of his paintings are kind of the same, but this is Mama Ka Did You Dig Again, 2011 through 2012, also oil and linen. This is Matawan, oil and linen as well. Maskagawak, 2012. Oh, this is a really long name. Nanagat Awanda Mowin, from 2017. Ninkikinj, from 2017. And then Agnes Dinas, she was more of an environmental activist, like site-specific work, and uses technology. Tom was more concerned with the feeling of nature as he sees it. It's kind of more of a traditional art form of painting. They both wanted to enhance the way that people view the natural world. So my work this semester has been calling attention to the evident corruption the world has undergone since modernization. And I think these artists help frame my idea, creating a sequence, starting with Tom. His paintings depict his idea of harmony and spirituality found within the untouched natural world. My work then reflects on how modernization has decreased this unity, and Agnes's work then practices like solutions that can help to alleviate that problem. So I thought they fit well with my theme. Yep, that's it. Thank you.